I try to cultivate connections.
Yeah.
So, for example, I try to call you and my daughter, your beautiful wife,
My wife.
and let you know that I'm thinking about you and I love you, but you don't have to come to Sunday dinner.
No. You guys
And
are
you don't
very
have to-
considerate of my time.
And sometimes I very much miss normalcy because there's a certain amount of,
Normalcy.
yes, because the rules and roles.
Okay.
Rules
My
and
obligation
roles.
as a son to be there at all times. Your
Sometimes
obligation as a mother to
sometimes
make sure you're there at all times.
Right. Sometimes I
Yeah.
miss the normalcy. Not miss them. I never miss them. Never miss them. No, I never miss them. I miss the benefits of knowing what other people perceive as the rules and roles. I wish that I had been given at birth a person who follows me around telling me, now here's what you do to be socially acceptable and politically correct in this moment in time.
You've mentioned that, but I think that
I
don't
had
think
had
you would
that.
handle that well at all. I would hate it personally, and I just don't think you'd agree with half the crap being fed into your head. I just, no way.
Well, I
It would
have
serve you
spent-
well in some situations.
Well, I think it may have served me well in all situations,
I
but
don't
then
think
I
you would've bought
would
it.
then I would love my retreats from the world even more.
yeah. Finally, no bug in my ear. Yeah. I don't know. I think you handle things well, and
Because if I could just be normal, well then I could go, okay, well this is what mothers do, and this is what mothers-in-law do,
Sure.
and this is what wives do. But no, you just get who and what I
you
am.
get you.
And in getting me, you get a person who will protect your interest and defend your causes as much as you'll allow her.
Yeah, it's got a higher learning curve. As someone on the outside, it's got a much higher learning curve, but it's got a much greater rate of return, I think.
Well-
And it's definitely been.
I guess
know-
I don't think of that. Maybe I think that if I'd had somebody follow me around and apprise me of this is what you do to be socially acceptable and politically correct in this context,
Yeah.
I think this person would have said to me, because down the road, this is what will happen to you if you don't.
Yeah.
So I guess I've never been looking for benefits that I'm conscious of, but it sure would be nice to avoid punishments. And
Well,
I would have done that more
I'm
if I had been apprised of it.
I'm speaking on behalf of the people that you communicate with, not yourself so much. I can't speak for you, but as someone who deals with you as a second party, yeah, the rate of return is great once you get it. You know what I'm saying? It's taken me 28 years to make sense of anything you've ever said, really.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, honey.
No, I mean, not literally.
I'm so sorry.
Not literally, but I mean, my mom is a very,
No,
but
I'm
there are
so
certain
sorry.
facets of your personality that are harder to come to grips with for outsiders than others. For instance, she's a very spiritual person. As you know, at this point in my life, I'm a spiritual person. But for years, decades, prior to my more recent eye-opening experiences, Mom made very little sense on this tip. And in fact, something of that supernatural value can override others.
But I'm not spiritual like, ooh,
Well,
you know?
but see, it depends on who you ask. Because for some people, they might see it. Because for some people, they're so turned off to spirituality, or they confuse it so often with religiosity that it's, it's where's my garlic? Where's my cross to burn? I mean, where's all this stuff to keep the vampire away? And that's how people take it.
Yeah.
So for some people, and that's another reason she attracts a lot of people too, because the people that have been very compelled to be with you at all times tend to like the fact that you're more in tune with your spiritual side. You're more aware of things that maybe people just can't see immediately. This thing that takes a while for people to get. So that's why you kind of, I think you really do draw the people who are just kind of living on the edge anyway, and
I think people are just simply drawn to hope.
I think
and
so too.
grace.
I think so
and
too.
if I represent those to people, then it's not spiritual that they're drawn to me. I think that they're drawn to if they are drawn to me as inexorably. I think it's because they're drawn to the essence and the potence of my hope and grace.
I agree.
And so
I
I'm
agree.
not
It's a spirit.
spiritual in the sense of those factors you brought into it. I think of the interest in the spirit as being those unseen things that feed, that nurture, that continue to keep us helpful, hopeful human beings.
I mean, absolutely.
I guess I
But
think
I mean-
of being spiritual as being interested in keeping the spirit of human beings, the spirit of humanity, the best, not the worst in us, alive. And sometimes I think, crap, it's a hopeless.
And that's my point.
It's a hopeless endeavor.
Right, because you're dealing with
but
the
I
humanity.
don't believe that.
I mean, I'm with you, but I mean, there's no denying that you're dealing with a humanity that, by and large, at this point in human history, kind of feels the other way. We're detaching ourselves from a lot of this. So
Yes.
you come off, you know, even particularly to a 15, 12, 13, 14, 16-year-old kid, as kind of like a, what? I just want to play baseball. Can we not just do that?
Yeah, and see,
You know?
see, that's what I wanted to do too. Like, let me tell you, I treasured those moments in those rafters, in those bleachers.
Oh, and the
I treasured those moments, screaming my lungs out.
Very supportive
for
folks.
a very
supportive folks.
talented, very talented individual. There's nothing that you didn't do with the most incredible skill and talent. I loved all that. I wanted to do it all.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it all. I wanted to be allowed. I wanted to be allowed to do it all. Sit in the bleachers, witness your radio program.
Oh yeah, I had a radio
watch you-
program in school.
Watch you in theater. I believed in you,
Oh,
but
yeah, I did do that.
but my believing in you seemed to freak you out.